Hello everyone, on this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to set up the Automatic Metroidvania Mapper asset from the marketplace. So you need to import the AutoMapper object and the utilities scripts. This is what you need from the asset, okay? So the other objects, the rooms and the initializer are just for the sample rooms, the demonstration project that is included with the asset. So this is the demonstration project. You can see that the map is getting drawn as we walk around. Okay, so what you need to set up are these variables on the create event of the AutoMapper. Okay, so the grid elements are the back part of the map. So this is the grid. You can see this faded out part here. Okay, so you can set the grid as you wish, change the color, the opacity and such. Okay, so next you have center on player. This will make sure the sprite is always aligned to the player current position. So if I place my mouse over here, you can see that my mouse is always on top of the current room, no matter where I'm standing on. If I set this to false, I will also set the show grid to false to show you what's gonna happen with the grid. You can see now that the map itself will shift whenever I walk around. So the anchor point is not at the current room anymore. You can also see that the grid has gone. Is gone. Nothing showing on the background here. Okay, so let me set this to true, this to true. So the display sprite. So this is the display sprite here. This is gonna mark the current room of the player. So the display sprite should always have the block width, block height plus the border. Okay, so you can see here I have 28 pixels on the width. That means 20 pixels for the block width plus 4 pixels for each border, for each edge, one on the left side, one on the right side. Okay, and the display sprite is aligned to the top left corner, and that's the main reason why we need the correct size on it, otherwise it will not align properly. So if I set this to false, you can see that it will not be displayed anymore. Okay, that's it. So next we have all these things here. These are the main variables of the project, so make sure you set everything correct here. Okay, I'll start from the bottom to the top. So first you need to set the wall object and the player object. Okay, the wall object doesn't have to be your actual wall object. You just need to set it around the room, making sure that any of the exits are not filled with it. So on this project I'm using it as the actual collision objects. Okay, you can see that the teleporter are the exits from the room. Okay, and the walls are the room edges, are those places where the player cannot go around. So next we have the player object, so this is just your player object, nothing to add here. We have the colors, so we have the wall color and the back color of the map. So this is the back color, this is the wall color. So the wall color is white, the back color is navy. Okay, so the passage size. Whenever you change this value here, you're gonna change the opening from to the next room. So this is the size you are changing. Okay. So if I change here to 4 instead of 2, you can see what's gonna happen. See? So the larger the value you enter here, the smaller is gonna be the space here. If I set this to 1, the entrance will be much larger. There you go. Okay. So next you have the block border. So this is how thick the border is, this white border is. So let me change this to 10 and you can see the effect. See, so it's much thicker now than it was before. So now you can see that the display object is not working properly. That's because the sprite size is not matching the block width plus twice the border. Okay. So these elements here, you need to set them properly to make sure everything's gonna work properly. Okay. So the block width, block height are the block width and block height of the map here. So each room in the map is gonna have this width, this height. So if I set it to 40 and 30, your entire map's gonna have basically twice the size it had before. You can see that. Okay, so it's much larger now. So this is gonna define how big your map shows up on the screen. These other two variables should represent your view size, your default view size. So for this sample project, you can see that I have a camera set up here, and the camera has a width of 400 and a height of 300. So this will show like each block size on the real world scale. So this should be one block of the map, and this should be the second block of the map, third block of the map, and such. So this should match the default view size of your project. If I set this to 200 by 150, you will see that for each view size I will have 2 room sizes. So I have much more rooms here. And finally I have the special rooms. So the special rooms are the odd colored rooms on the map. So the default color, as I said before, is the navy, so it's this blue color here, but some rooms can have different colors. So these are the special rooms the rooms that have different colors on the map. Okay, so to set up for a new room, a new special room, you just add a new element to the array, special rooms array. So just set a fourth element here actually, set the room name and set the color, and that's it. So after this you have the functions included in the object. So most of these functions you are not gonna need. You're gonna need the save map, the load map functions. You're gonna need the set next position function, and you might need the set visited and unset visited and update tile. Okay, that's what's you're gonna need from these functions here. So let me show you what's gonna happen when I try to save the map here. So you can see that I'm using here a sample function to save and load the map. Whenever you save the map, the entire map will get saved as a string, so you can show it up and save as wish. So here it is. Okay, okay, moving to how it works inside your game. So this object here, you only need to create it once. Okay, so if you try to create it twice, it will destroy itself, the second one. Okay, you only need to make it once. It's a persistent object, so you create when you start your game and you destroy when you don't need it. You don't need the map anymore. Okay, so on your actual game, you're gonna have this teleporter objects. It doesn't matter how you call it or how you change between rooms, since that's irrelevant for the mapper. The mapper will track the player position and make sure every transition works automatically. Okay, so you don't need to manually set when you are changing rooms to say, oh, the player went up or the player went down. No, the object itself will do the job. Okay, moving on, we have the set next position function here. You're gonna use this function whenever you need to teleport the player to a room that's not the room right next to the current room. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So I have a teleporter here that will take me to a room that's not like the room on the left of the current room. It's a room much further away. So see that? So I got teleported from here to here, and when I go back, the same thing happens. So this is when I need the set next position function. Okay, so let me show you the teleporter object here. So whenever I have a special teleporter, I have this function here that will set a next position based on the X offset and the Y offset. So here I have the X offset and the Y offset. On that teleporter here, I set a X offset of -4, Y offset of 1. So -4 and 1. On the other hand, on the round 4, I have the same teleporter with the X offset of 4 and the Y offset of -1. So this is for going back to the last room. Okay. Other than these special teleporters, you don't need to use the set next position, since the object itself will handle the position shifting inside the map. Okay. On the end step event, I've made sure that the tile is only updated once, so you can say that the object is really efficient. It won't re-render the sprite several times each frame or something like that. It will create a sprite once and that's it. I guess that's it. Okay, so you can use the unset visited function if you need to re-render a room in case something changes on that room, maybe a secret passage gets opened or something like that. You can unset the state and make sure the object will re-render that room. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the asset and thank you very much for your attention.